Hello everyone, Kaoz here, and welcome to another old-school RuneScape video. Despite this game being over 10 years old, training methods are very often updated to keep them relevant and compete with other activities in their category, as to not become dead content. It seems like 2024 has been a big year for these types of updates, and it looks like it's only going to get better from here on out. Scapers, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing with notifications on, and dropping a like to please the relentless YouTube algorithm. If you need any further help with your training, join our Discord with a link in the description. In today's video, we will go over new training methods in two ways. First, I will talk about future changes to some scaling activities because they might hit the live server soon, because they all passed the poll, telling you relevant information to be ready for whenever the update goes live. Second, I will go over current training methods that have received buffs in some way, some of which are pretty massive for either experience per hour, GP per hour, or some that simply need less effort to do them properly. That being said, let's learn about some powerful new training methods in 2024 and beyond, and let's begin. Let's talk about future content first so you're all aware of the things you will be able to do when these changes arrive to the live servers. Wintertodt and Guardians of the Rift, the changes passed the polls, and they are yet to go live as of the time of making this video. When it comes to Wintertodt, we are getting massive changes that will make both the activity itself less frustrating and the reward system a lot more dopamine friendly. As most of you know, it is better to do Wintertodt at low HP because damage from the cold will be minimal, but at level 99 you are dealt a massive chunk of damage. The first big update to this iconic minigame is that instead of damage, we will get a new mechanic being a warmth meter. You will still need to bring warm clothing here, and depending on how many braziers are active, every time the Wintertodt damages you, you will lose a warmth percentage. Now, does this mean that if you go down to 0% warmth, you will start being damaged instead? Well, not quite. If your warmth falls to 0%, you will automatically die, so how to heal if HP is out of the question? This time around, any piece of food that heals for 4 HP or more will restore your warmth meter by 35%. The rejuvenation potions you make inside the minigame will heal for 30%, and you will still be encouraged to heal the pyromancers when they have taken enough damage to call for their mom. Even though this passed, Jagex said that they would still offer beta testing to see how these changes would work in practice, but it looks like low HP Wintertodt will stop being meta after these quality of life updates. Some minor changes include a small period of invincibility after you get damaged, so you can actually fletch or burn logs, because prior to this, with terrible RNG, you could be hit back to back to back to back and be interrupted for several seconds. You will be able to equip the Bruma Torch in your left hand to hold both an axe and a torch to free up some inventory space, and arguably the most exciting change is for the reward system. As most of you know, when you get 500 points you are eligible for a crate containing 2 rolls on the loot table. Any additional point after this before the next 500 will be percentage chance of receiving another roll, and every 500 points is simply a guaranteed extra roll. With upcoming changes, your points will be saved up, and just like Temporo's reward pool, you will be able to get your reward from a pile of crates near the bank to stack the dopamine. If you're not 99 Firemaking yet, this would be the perfect time to do so. Up next we have the best minigame for the best skill in the game, Guardians of the Rift. First, Jagex will introduce dynamic scaling to this activity, meaning the game will automatically scale depending on how many players are in the arena when the timer starts. This comes into play when the Great Guardian calculates how much power is still needed to finish the game, and it will be able to change if players leave in the middle of the game. Additionally, you will be able to build weak barriers and guardians between games to give you a little head start, and not waste any time when mining fragments. This won't provide any experience or points, and your inventory would still be wiped at the beginning of every match. For smaller but welcome changes, you will now receive experience and points by placing cells on barriers, which are at full HP. This up to a cap of 2,500 and 450 respectively. For small teams, you will be guaranteed 1 weak and 1 medium altar instead of having a chance for both to be weak and receive weak cells. We will also get a new option to the rewards guardian called Big Search, letting you loot in groups of 5. If you don't have enough for 5 rolls, we will also be able to trade in 25 Abyssal Pearls for 1 of each essence, giving leftover pearls a good use. If you receive the Abyssal Needle, it's frustrating having to wait until 85 Runecrafting to use it. But with this new change, and if you have the crafting level and all 4 pouches to make it, you will be able to use the Colossal Pouch prior to level 85. This item will now hold extra essence, scaling with the pouches you are currently able to use. This means that you will be able to use this item at any Runecrafting level, but it will only hold essence, scaling up to the highest pouch you are currently able to use, unlocking its full potential at 85 as it normally does. All of these changes are massive, and anything that makes Runecrafting more enjoyable will always get a big thumbs up from me. So that's it about future content. And now for either brand new methods or ways to train skills which have been massively buffed. Thanks to While Gothic Sleeps, Tormented Demons were added to the game with similar mechanics to the ones from RuneScape 3, but nothing too challenging. If you remember, demonic gorillas are almost identical to RuneScape 3 Tormented Demons, so the OSRS variant received a few changes. Lore aside, you can kill Tormented Demons on a greater demon task, giving you another option as opposed to, for example, Krill Tsusaroth if you're looking for the pet. Not only are Tormented Demons a new way to train Slayer, but for some odd reason, these monsters have experience gain multiplier, meaning you will level up even faster by killing these. Experience is not the only incentive to go for Tormented Demons, because as most of you know, their uniques remain quite expensive, especially that Tormented Synapse, which is somehow still above 60 million GP as of the time of making this video. Camp these to eventually hit the lottery and either make a new Demonbane weapon or sell it for other upgrades. Something we featured in our AFK activities video is Scurrius the Rat King. Other than being one of the most AFK pets to grind in the game, if you go in as a group, your experience gains will be massively boosted. If you don't have powerful items such as a scythe or a soul reaper axe, you can make the bone mace, which naturally adds 10 max hits against rats. Once you have all of your ratbane weapons, additional spines can be traded in with a person near the entrance of the boss room, and he will give you experience lamps to level up even further. So this is a great incentive to train with your clan members, and especially people in your group when playing Group Iron or Group Hardcore. As most of you know, I am a runecrafting fanatic, and this is something I briefly touched on one of my previous videos, but didn't include too much information about it because, between you and I, that initial information was added the day before the video released. For now, let's dive a little deeper. Thanks to a poll a few months ago, there is now a shortcut in the northeast corner of Shiloh Village. Why was this added in the first place is still a mystery to me, but it actually gave people with an Achievement Diary cape a massive update to the runecrafting skill in case they want more money or experience. The gist of this new method is that you want to teleport to option number 7 on your diary cape, which will take you to the second floor of one of the Shiloh Village buildings. Once here, use the menu entry swapper plugin to change the left click option on the closest stairs to walk here, which will naturally let you click the other set of stairs, taking you down. Once done, simply click on the shortcut which will take you outside the village and head to the nature altar. Remember that if you have the full runecrafting outfit, you can add a catalytic talisman to your Hat of the Eye to work on every altar of that category. If you don't have the outfit yet, don't forget your nature tiara. Other than this, nothing really changes compared to how you would do nature runecrafting previously. Except that, obviously, you want to bring your diary cape with you. Remember the Dialed Essence will increase experience gained by 50%, and you're seeing both experience and GP per hour on screen. If my Ironman ever gets to this stage of the game, I will not be crafting nature runes without the diary cape. These next ones are pretty quick, but they change how we train construction massively. If you've been using Runelight for a while now, you might recall that we were not able to use menu entry swapper on construction because it was deemed too powerful to train the skill with just one click. Thanks to a recent update, Jagex now allows the use of menu entry swapper on empty furniture, making it less intensive on clicks and keystrokes. I don't know the exact reason for this, but if I had to guess, I recall being able to position the camera in a way for the mouse to be near the bottom of the screen, and the left click would put your mouse exactly on the option needed to build the furniture. So in a way we were already able to do something similar with camera movement. You will be able to build things much faster, mainly things that don't require as many planks such as larders, tables, and cape racks. You will still be somewhat limited on experience per hour because remember, your butler still has to bring items from the bank, but if building other pieces of furniture, you will see higher experience per hour with less mouse movement. The last two are related to mahogany homes. As of August 14th, we now have a toggle option for Amy Saw, letting us equip it on the shield slot, and this means that for those of you who have an Imcando hammer and the saw, you can now wear both of them to save on inventory space. The other one is that when you are doing contracts, instead of having an interface popping up when building furniture, you will automatically build whatever you can with the materials you have. Both of these changes should definitely make mahogany homes more viable. Up next we have agility. Thanks to the scaling rework a few months ago, the Brimhaven Agility Arena is now a viable training method, and not something you might only want to do for the collection log slots, in the form of Blue Graceful and the Pirate Hook. Ever since its creation, when you touched a pillar in one of the 25 platforms at the Brimhaven Arena, you would get a ticket which you could redeem outside for either experience or rewards. Experience per hour here was almost non-existent because we relied on the tickets for competitive experience per hour. This is now a thing of the past, and clearing obstacles here can give you a decent amount of experience, which you can abuse while waiting for the next pillar to be active. On top of this, you can get another type of permit which you can exchange for rewards, and the original tickets can be exchanged with Pirate Jackie for even more experience. This next one is not for the faint of heart because we are going to the Wildy. In April of 2024, this course received a massive update for those who like to risk it all. You are still able to do this course normally by not taking anything, but if you pay 150k near the entrance, you will be able to tack the dispenser every lap, and you will receive a wide array of items. You can get noted and unnoted supplies, metal items, and most importantly, a brand new item called a Wilderness Agility Ticket. These are obtained every time you touch the dispenser, and you can exchange them at the same location for an additional 200 experience for each one you collect. The way I see it, you have two options of doing this. Whether you go there naked and pray for no PKers, or dress up in either cheap or expensive tanky gear for you to have a chance at survival. Ideally though, you may want to bank every now and then so you don't give away your spoil to PKers. A method we briefly mentioned in one of my previous videos was a new way of training thieving, and it is by stealing from chests in the Rogue's Castle. This method is fairly simple. Go to this location with cheap prayer enhancing gear, a lockpick, and maybe a few prayer potions. Whenever you loot the chests, every rogue in the vicinity will start attacking you, but as long as you pray melee, they won't be able to do anything to you. This won't be the case if a PKer comes to try to grab all your precious loot, but if you're quick, you could potentially enter the castle and make them dizzy going up and down the stairs. This is now one of the best thieving training methods and a great source of hard clues, but as anything in the wildy, high risk versus high reward. Does anyone here remember Slayer partners? This feature was completely removed in 2020, and it made a comeback in the second half of 2024. This is not super complicated, so let's see how to train this skill with your friends. Grab your Slayer helmet or gem and click on the partner option. Type a name for you to send an invite and wait for your friend to accept. When this is active, Slayer masters will assign tasks you can complete together. As long as you are within 30 tiles of each other, both of you will receive kill credit and experience when slaying a monster. The only thing to keep in mind is that block list will only take effect for the person asking for the task. This is to avoid people having to block list worth of blocks, making Slayer abusable by potentially only getting bursting tasks. Other than this, you and your friends can make Slayer more enjoyable and most importantly, a lot faster. Let's do a lightning round for mining since all of these changes are fairly quick to explain, but will lead to a much smoother experience when training the skill. The Motherlode mine now has a hopper on the upper level, increasing experience per hour thanks to less time going down to deposit your pay dirt. This costs just a few nuggets to unlock, but the benefit is well worth it to make it a little faster. The Blast Mine received a big area update, and we now have more spots to place dynamite and light it up to get rocks to clean at the hoppers. This process is mainly the same as the one seen in my mining guide, but you can do it now a little more efficiently at more spots instead of camping the corners to avoid explosions. You can now choose what you want to focus on at Zalcano. Talk to the elf at the entrance to be given the option between more experience or more loot. If you pick experience, you will only get crystal shards and chances at uniques, and if you pick loot, you will only get experience when mining rocks. I personally go for experience per hour, because even with increased loot, GP per hour here is not massive. Also, solo volcanic mine is now more viable, as Jagex tweaked a few things inside the cave to make mine stabilization a little less random and awkward for solo players. Keep in mind that this is still recommended to do as a group for superior experience per hour, but if you want to give this a try solo, this is a perfect time to do it. For another quick one, we have a new way to train firemaking in the form of bonfires. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen my AFK activities video, so this will be a quick refresher. Go to any firemaking spot near a bank, light a fire, and when the first one is set, use logs on the active fire, which your character will do until you have an empty inventory. Keep in mind you will only get 33% of the experience any log is able to provide, so you're sacrificing experience gains for AFK. To close out the video, I want to do a final lightning round on 3 methods I absolutely loved, but I've covered them in greater detail in previous videos, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm recycling them. Thanks to Valimar, we have a new way to train prayer either super fast or relatively AFK, thanks to an activity called Offerings to Ralos. Go to the Tiamat to bless bones, chip them into shards, and with jugs of wine in the inventory, spam click the libation pool for a good chunk of prayer experience every tick. For thieving, pickpocket from wealthy citizens when being distracted by kids, and then use the house keys to enter empty houses. Once inside, steal from the chests and drawers for even more AFK experience, and exit when you hear a whistle. And finally, I gotta give one last big shoutout to Hunter Rumors, the new best way to train the skill. Under the right circumstances, it will provide both more experience and profit per hour, so if you're looking to train Hunter to 99, check out both my dedicated Hunter Rumors video and the updated 1 to 99 guide. Boys and girls, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for coming and for making it this far. If you did, tell me which of these training methods you enjoy doing, or tell me about an activity not mentioned in the video. Include the term RSN in your comment, and you will be entered in our weekly bond giveaway, for which we will pick a winner on Friday. I want to give a massive thank you to all the wonderful people you see on screen for monetarily supporting this project I love so much. If you want to be part of this list of legends, click the join button below to see all the cool perks you can get for a monetary fee in the videos, in the live streams, and of course in the Discord. Stay tuned for the next video, where we will take a look at the most important achievement diaries for your account and the massive benefits you get for completing them. For now, I hope you have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.